Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 3rd of August 2023. Let's start with our session. First question is extremely important. What is the new logo of Twitter after replacing the iconic bird logo? So Twitter has officially rebranded to Alphabet X after owner Elon Musk changed its iconic bird logo. And this is the latest sweeping change since he bought Twitter for $44 billion last year. And this social media company also recently announced that it is to limit the number of daily direct messages unverified users can send. Okay, so earlier the logo was this bird, but now the logo of Twitter is the alphabet X. Okay, now apart from it, the first goods train that carries the essential items has been operated in which Indian state? So Railway Authority, in association with the state's Transport Department of Manipur, dispatched the first goods train that carries food grains and essential commodities to Manipur state from Guwahati, Assam. And Khongsang is the latest station which was commissioned in 2022 in the Jirbam Imphal New Line project. Okay, so you can be asked that the first goods train that carries essential items has been operated in which Indian state? Answer would be Manipur. The next question is, Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel laureate who was seen in the news recently, is from which country? So he is from Bangladesh, and in Bangladesh the appellate division of the Supreme Court has ordered Muhammad Yunus to pay 12 crore taka, which is the currency of Bangladesh, means $1.1 million as tax. So Dr. Yunus has donated money to 3 of its own trusts named as, first is Dr. Muhammad Yunus Trust, second is Yunus Family Trust, and the third one is Yunus Center Trust. And now the income tax authorities in Bangladesh imposed a tax on money that was donated to these 3 trusts. Okay, important thing is Mr. Muhammad Yunus is a Nobel laureate and he is from the country Bangladesh. Here if we talk about the country Pakistan, don't forget that few days back Pakistan and Iran have signed an agreement to enhance the cooperation and take actions to prevent the attacks by the separatist militants along their borders. Okay, so you can be asked that which 2 countries are involved in this. These are Pakistan and Iran. Now if we talk about the country India, recently Prime Minister Narendra Modi has visited the UAE, and this was his 5th visit since he occupies the position of Prime Minister in 2014. So basically Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the 2nd Prime Minister to visit UAE, and who was the first Prime Minister? This was Indira Gandhi, who visited UAE in the year 1981. Okay, you have to tell me who is the current president of the country Sri Lanka. Please write your answer in the comment section. The next question is, Dr. Thani Al-Ziodi, the chair of World Trade Organization's 13th Ministerial Conference, is from which country? So he is the Minister of UAE for Foreign Trade, Dr. Thani Al-Ziodi, and recently he has been elected as the chair of the World Trade Organization's 13th Ministerial Conference that will be held in Abu Dhabi in February 2024. And this conference will be attended by the representatives from the 164 countries and the custom blocks that make up the World Trade Organization. Basically, it will review the performance of the trading system, will make the decisions on future work, and it would set up the roadmap for the next conference. Okay, so Dr. Thani Al-Ziodi belongs to the country UAE. Here if we talk about few important summits and the conferences, don't forget that India is set to host the World Coffee Conference in its Bangalore city when? In the month of September 2023. Also, this is the first time that this event would be held in Asia, not in India but in whole Asia. Fine. Next is the Semicon India 2023 conference, the venue of which is Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Fine. Next question is Karman Kaur Thandi is associated with which sport? So India's Karman Kaur Thandi has clinched her second W60 ITF title of her career after winning an event in the USA. So with this victory, she became the only Indian woman after Sania Mirza to win a pro title in the US. Also earlier she had won her first W60 ITF title in Saguenay last year. Fine. So she is associated with tennis. Here if we talk about few sport related current affairs, first of all, don't forget that Virat Kohli has recently become the 5th highest run scorer in international cricket, and he has surpassed Jacques Kallis in this regard, and Jacques Kallis is from South Africa. Okay. Then as a team, Indian shooters bagged second position where in the Junior World Championship, the venue of which was Korea. After that, two names are important, Sarita and Rakesh, because they have clinched the country's first ever gold medal in the World Archery Para Championships, the venue of which was Czech Republic. You can be asked that Sarita and Rakesh are associated with which sport? Answer would be archery. Okay. Then recently, who has won the Korea Open 2023 title? It was won by Satvik Siraj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty. You can be asked that Satvik Siraj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty are associated with which sport? Answer would be badminton. Okay. Next is, which state hosted the awareness program named as Anu Awareness Yatra 2023? So an awareness program named as Anu Awareness Yatra 2023 was launched at Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research in Kalpakkam, that lies in Tamil Nadu, and theme for this event is Atoms in the Service of the Nation. Okay. So it is organized in association with the National Council of Science Museum, which works under Ministry of Culture, then Vigyan Bharati and Indian Association for Radiation Protection. Okay. So which state has hosted this awareness program, the name of which is Anu Awareness Yatra? Answer would be Tamil Nadu state. Now can you tell me, the Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023 aims to expand the scope of the Forest Conservation Act that was enacted in which year? So Lok Sabha has recently passed the Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023, the aim of which is to expand the scope of the Forest Conservation Act of 1980. Okay. So this bill acknowledges India's international commitments and the national target that was set by the country for achieving the net zero emissions by the end of 2070. Fine. Next question is, IMF has raised forecast for India's GDP growth for the current fiscal too. So International Monetary Fund, that means IMF, has raised its forecast for India's GDP growth for the current fiscal to 6.1% from 5.9% that was predicted in the month of April due to stronger domestic investment. Okay. And this upward revision marks a reversal of the IMF's April decision when it had cut the growth forecast from 6.1% to 5.9%. And for the calendar year 2023, the growth projection for the country is 6.6% as per the IMF. Okay. So recently it has raised the forecast for India's GDP growth for the current fiscal to 6.1%. Next is, which country has officially re-entered the UNESCO? This question is extremely important. And US First Lady Jill Biden attended a flag raising ceremony at UNESCO in Paris, marking Washington's official re-entry into the UNESCO. And US had announced its intention to rejoin UNESCO in the month of June, if you remember. And UNESCO's 193 member states have voted already to approve the US re-entry after 5 years. Okay, so you can be asked that which country has officially rejoined the UNESCO. This is the country US. Now can you tell me, Pedro Sanchez was formerly named caretaker prime minister of which country? So he was formerly named as the caretaker prime minister of an interim government in the country Spain, and this interim government will remain in place until Spain resolves the political uncertainty that emerged from the inconclusive elections. And if the political deadlock is not resolved in the coming months, Spain will likely to hold a repeated election. Okay, so currently Pedro Sanchez has been named as the formal caretaker prime minister of the country Spain. Next is, which Indian cricketer has been handed a 2-match suspension by the International Cricket Council? So International Cricket Council handed a 2-match suspension to India women's team skipper Harmanpreet Kaur because she was penalized for her outburst when she shattered the stumps after being adjudged leg before and publicly criticized the match officials. Okay, so recently Harmanpreet Kaur has been handed a 2-match suspension by the International Cricket Council. Now, which sports association has been recognized as the official body by the Sports Ministry of India? This is the Handball Association of India. Sports Ministry has decided to recognize the Handball Association of India as the official body to run the game in the country, and recently the Indian Olympic Association also gave it recognition after it agreed to merge with the Handball Federation of India. So now India has been preparing for the upcoming Hangzhou Asian Games. Okay, so recently Handball Association of India has been recognized as the official body by the Sports Ministry of India. Next question is, the first ever Aadhaar Center in Indian Army has been inaugurated in which city or the town? So the inaugural ceremony of the first permanent Aadhaar Enrollment Center for the Army took place at one Central Base Post Office in New Delhi, and this center has been set up to provide convenient Aadhaar services, which includes enrollment and update for both defense and civilian personnel of the tri-services as well as their dependents. So these services will be accessible through their field post offices at 48 designated locations across the country, and the establishment of these center services is planned at all the command headquarters, corps headquarters and selected FPOs. Okay, so the first ever Aadhaar Center in Indian Army has been recently inaugurated in New Delhi. Now the next question is, what is the theme of the Summit on Global Chemicals and Petrochemicals Manufacturing Hubs in India? So the third edition of the Summit on the Global Chemicals and Petrochemicals Manufacturing Hubs in India was held recently, and the theme is sustainability and circularity. So this summit was organized jointly by FICCI and Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. FICCI means Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. So the theme of this event is sustainability and circularity. Also, which city has hosted the National Conference on Moving Mental Health Beyond Institutions? So this national conference was inaugurated recently in New Delhi, and the main purpose of this conference is to address the difficulties that were faced during the execution of the Mental Health Care Act of 2017 and to engage in thoughtful discussions about the future steps to resolve the mental health concerns. Okay, so which city has hosted this event? Answer would be New Delhi. Next question is, which leader initiated the motion of no confidence against the union government, which was accepted by the Lok Sabha Speaker? Basically, what is this no confidence motion? It is a step that is typically taken by an opposition party to compel the current government to demonstrate its majority in the House. And recently, the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla accepted a motion of no confidence against the government, which was initiated by the Congress Deputy Leader in Lok Sabha, that is Gaurav Gogoi, after fulfilling the requisite head count of 50 MPs as mandated by the rules. Okay, So which leader has initiated this motion of no confidence against the union government? So answer would be Congress deputy leader in Lok Sabha, that is Gaurav Gogoi. Also, International Exhibition cum Convention Center, that is Bharat Mandapam, was inaugurated recently by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and this project is a national initiative, the aim of which is to modernize and upgrade the obsolete facilities at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. So this Anubhav Mantapa was an academy of saints and philosophers of Lingayat's faith in the 12th century, and it was founded by Basava, who is also known as Basaveshwar. This is the inspiration behind the name Bharat Mandapam. You can be simply asked that Anubhav Mandapam is associated with which personality? Answer would be Basava. The next question is, which state implements the Mukhyamantri Ladli Behna Yojana? Many times we have discussed about this scheme. Under this Yojana, underprivileged women who are aged between 23 to 60 years are eligible for 1000 rupees every month. However, after distributing 2 installments, the government decided that those completing 21 years from January this year would also be included, and they should be married and fulfill the other existing eligibility criteria, and this Yojana belongs to the state of Madhya Pradesh, right? Then apart from it, which state or the union territory has recently released the draft rules for implementation of the provisions of the Panchayat's Extension to Scheduled Areas Act? This is the Jharkhand government. Jharkhand government has recently released the draft rules for the effective implementation of the provisions of the Panchayat Act, which is commonly known as PISA, that was enacted in the year 1996. And the purpose of this act is to establish self-governance through Gram Sabhas for the residents who are living in the scheduled areas. Okay, so your correct answer would be Jharkhand. Now apart from it, which union ministry is associated with Mera Gaon Meri Dharohar campaign? So this is the part of Union Culture Ministry, and it is set to inaugurate this program as a significant component of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And this initiative falls under the National Mission on Cultural Mapping, and it is spearheaded by the Ministry of Culture. Main objective of the project is to culturally map India's 6.5 lakh villages that spans to 29 states and 7 union territories on a comprehensive virtual platform. Okay, simply you can be asked that Mera Gaon Meri Dharohar program is associated with which ministry? Answer would be Union Culture Ministry. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.